Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to some more Surviving Bruno Mars here in Surviving Mars Relaunched. As always, let's make sure everything's working here. Hello, mate. Hey, right back at you, buddy. I feel like that sounds low. How do we... Hello, hello. Alright, that sounds good. Alright, what do we got going on here? What do we got going on? Hey, Radical Anarchist, hello, hello, how you doing? Hey, super slow day at work today, nice. Been using it to go back through your Vicky 3 trade tutorials, oh, nice. Since it's one of my weaker areas, I did end up scrapping my Columbia run, but I learned some good stuff, mostly how the seeds you plant early game, yes, can either become a boon or a massive headache in the mid game. It's so true. It's so true. It's one of the things I really do love about the game, in that you really, like, everyone acts like there's, well, what am I talking? Everybody acts like everybody doesn't act like what I was about to say, but you really lay the seed for what your government's going to be later in the game, and there's no like one button you press to go like, now we go fascist, now we go capitalist, now we go communist. It's like you lay these little seeds throughout the run, and then you finally get to a point where this is the snowball you created. All right, here. Wait, how come I'm not getting any chat up on my thing? Hey, Mauricio, what's up, my friend? Hey, I am. I see the talking about Victoria bingo is checked. That's right. That's right. It is. It is. We are always chatting Vicky 3, and that's what I love. That's what I love. Hold on a second here. My multi-chat's not working on OBS here, and that's gonna bug the hell out of me. Let me get that working real quick. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Oh, whoa, there it is. Now it popped up. We're back. We're back. All right, all right. Hey, Super Frank, what's up? I am here. The bingo is always checked. Yes, that's right. Welcome back, my friend. How you doing? How you doing? Perfectly stable social democracy players when nobody wants to go socialist or fascist because no one can't really complain that much. Yep. Like, kind of like what we're doing here, right? 51 seats belonging to the collective. I'm realizing now all of these things that have 3 lines to it are like policies, where then we can change what we get here. I actually just finally realized that in the earlier episode today. So nice. All right. So we are moving along. Oh, let me get myself situated here. All right. It's so funny seeing those posts, like when the socialist doesn't have struggling workers to radicalize, neither the fascist has hated minorities to demonize, and loyalists are everywhere. Yeah, the super loyalist fascist runs and stuff like that people post. I'm like, well, that's something. Oh man, do we have... Oh, no, we don't have that much of an energy problem right now. All right, let's unpause. Away we go. Now, so if anybody checked out the earlier episode, we got pretty far along and then the game crashed. So let me make sure it saved my autosave settings. Yes, there we go. All right. So we've got to rebuild the dome over here. We do need to get this to go. So we need to get resources over here. Where is everything? This guy's over there. Oh yeah, that guy's bringing metals over here. So we'll let that be. So let's get the concrete over here. I did have a trade question. If you're able to expand on some things from your video, specifically, do mutual trade privilege treaties diminish the benefits you get from trade privileges? Or does...
A building has stopped working.
Oh, hold on. It hasn't popped back up. The next one hasn't popped up yet. But to answer that, not necessarily. It kind of depends. Because remember, trade advantage, or does it just affect each country's respective trade advantage relative to the world market? So kind of like that, yeah. So remember, trade advantage is calculated based on the direction of of that specific good. So like your trade advantage. Let's say we're looking specifically at the export of clothing. You have a specific trade advantage for the export of clothing, and you'll have a different trade advantage for the import of clothing, as you'll have a different trade advantage for everything else. Now, your trade advantage affects, if you're exporting fabric, the export price you get to sell it for. And so the better trade advantage you have, and so it's about your total percentage of the global trade advantage for the export of clothing compared to the number of units of clothing you are exporting compared to everybody else in the world. So let's say you're Colombia, you give mutual trade advantage to Brazil. If Brazil is not exporting clothing, then that mutual trade advantage won't affect you. But let's say Brazil is exporting clothing as well. Well, then, yeah, you're kind of diluting the advantage you're getting from that. So it kind of all depends on that, which is why I generally do give away mutual trade privileges. If I can get a one-sided trade privileges, that's better. But I generally, if I have to do a mutual one in order to get it, I think that's better than not having it. But if someone is doing the same direction of trade on the same good as you, then yeah, it is kind of diluting it a little bit. If that makes any sense. I did dig into it a little bit on break. It looks like it actually enhances the effect, but I don't understand the mechanic well enough to understand it yet. Yeah, basically what you're doing is there's a total pool of trade advantage for everybody in the world exporting clothing. And so whatever percentage of that you have gets compared to the total amount of clothing being exported in the world and your share of that. And so getting extra trade advantage increases the total amount of trade advantage for the export of clothing in the world and your share of it, which increases your percentage of the global share. A much more advanced form of trade than what we're dealing with here right now. Oh, damn. I need to... Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're only going to drop off the concrete. And then I want you to go back over here. We need to give these guys the metals so they can finish this stuff. Alright, alright, alright. Oh yeah, so what are we researching now? Yeah, we're doing the recon center now. You know, it's interesting, the CO2 jet, the shuttle hub, our rail stations are pretty much doing what the shuttle hub would be doing right now. But if we had a shuttle hub, we wouldn't need the rail stations to be transporting goods right now. Actually, so let's do this. Yeah, because that was one thing. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. We want to add micro manufacturing because now with this we can create the electronics factory. We'll do this before drone printing because we just got a bunch of drones. Then we'll add this because we need to get 8 of these. That's kind of what I thought. So in your example, if you were Colombia exporting clothes and Brazil was importing them, you having trade privileges with Brazil would affect your export price. Yes. And not, I guess I would say, though, now that I think about it, yeah, if you gave
A building has stopped working.
mutual trade privileges, Brazil is you're exporting clothing to Brazil, Brazil is importing your clothing, Brazil is now getting additional trade advantage on the import of clothing, which would give them a better import price. I guess I don't actually remember how you getting a better export price and them getting a better import price kind of meshes. Now that I think about it. I'd have to look into that. And not their import price, right? Yeah. Then if you gave them trade privileges with you, that would affect their import price, but not your export price. That actually, I have to double check on. Now that I think about it, I don't kind of remember how that specific situation would affect the other. I'll have to look at that. Hey, Maxed Out, what's up? What's up? How you doing? How's everything going? Good, good, good. We're moving along. We're moving along. We're building up a new dome so that we can get our last good here, production of our last good here, electronics. It's the last thing we got to produce that we're not producing yet. So we're moving along. How you doing? What is happening? What is Ham up to right now? What is he planning? Yeah. Well, we were talking about the, just now, Radical Anarchist was asking about the mechanic of trade advantage in Victoria 3 and how giving away mutual trade privileges would affect that. But we're also building up this dome. Let's wait for this to finish so we can turn it off. All right. Now, all right, let's just put this down. We need to give them metals over here. We're a little short on metals. Where do we have? Oh yeah, we've got a ton over here. You know what? Let's do this.
Warning, insufficient resources.
Yeah, bring all of the metals to the surface. And let's send one of our guys over there. We don't need to be hoarding metals underground right now. Nice, I'm doing fine. Good, good. Good to hear it. Glad to see the industry is growing. Yeah, so far, so far. We had a little bit more built in the earlier episode, but, oh, yeah, let's... Oh, wait, we did switch this to potatoes. And then we can do seed crops after that. We had a little bit more built up in the earlier episode, but we had the game crashed, so... Rup. So we're backtracking a little bit. What it seems like from your videos and what I was digging up is that the world market acts as a kind of middle ground. Yes, since that's what your trade advantage affects. So it may affect things like traded quantities between countries, which can have an effect on price, but it strengthens the trade relationship rather than having a diminishing effect on the advantage. Yeah, that's basically what the world market is. So it's like, I guess in a way you can think of it like you're never like trading directly to a country. you're putting them on the world market, and then the other country is buying them from the world market. But effectively, you're getting the good from that country. Yes, so these guys are going to bring a whole bunch of metals back this way.
A building has stopped working.
You know, I suppose he's already all the way down there. Oh yeah, that's right. And they would be taking these metals. Well, that's fine. We're about to take a bunch of them anyway. Oh, yeah, yeah. And now let's assign these guys here. Oops. And then we want to send this back, right? Yeah, that's capturing ice asteroids. So let's send this back to Earth. Let's load it up with rare metals so that we can get some money because we're short on cash. Send it off. Oh, I do not touch trade advantage in Victoria 3. I'm too scared of it. Oh. Nah. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's your friend. It is actually. Trade advantage is your friend. But yeah. It's a bit of a thing. It has its quirks. Yeah, look at that. We would have this factory if we just had some more metals. Alright, what is happening with this metals extractor over here? Yeah, the casino complex. Open all night. You know, maybe we should close it during the morning. Yeah, there we go. I usually just keep my hands to just changing laws and handling the economy via buildings, with the occasional subvention here and there. Yeah, and I do, well, and also getting trade privileges from people too is a big benefit. So trying to add those in when possible. Awesome, thanks. Yeah, no worries. Like I said, it's one of my weaker areas. I started a new run in Congo, nice, which is always refreshing after a rough run. Figuring out trade is one of the things I want to focus on this run, since Congo has a lot of good resources. Yeah, and I think something that you could do with Congo, something I want to start doing with Sokoto in the run we're doing, is really kind of try to create like an agrarian society where we're doing a lot of exporting of crops and stuff like that. There's so many good crops there. Oh. We've only got 4 souls of oxygen. Oh! This thing's broken. And we need metal. Ruh-oh. Alright, take all the metal. Oh, there's only 1 drone left there? Alright, we're gonna have to... Let's pack up 1 drone. And then unload it here.
Assembly session open.
Yeah, I get that. I love experimenting in this game, though. Gotta run towards the things you're afraid of. Yeah, worst case scenario, it all blows up spectacularly. Yeah, you immiserate millions of people, then you scrap the run and start over. Lesson learned. Yep, and everybody's like, whoa, what I just had a fever dream that our whole economy just busted, but good thing it didn't really happen.
Research complete.
Yes, we got our first asteroid. Commander, our scientists have detected an asteroid that will pass close by Mars. They have provided us with a time window in which it would be possible to travel to and from the asteroid. Some asteroids are a rich source of exotic minerals we cannot obtain here on Earth. We should take this opportunity to harvest these resources and take our first steps into mining asteroids. We already have some micro-G auto extractor prefabs, though we can order more from Earth if we wish. Yeah, so we gained micro-G auto extractor prefabs. So Eostri BE3 is passing by us. C-type asteroids are the most common of all. They mostly contain surface deposits of rare metals, polymers, and metals, and even small metal deposits. Yeah, that would be excellent. And the legislative session is open. Yes, this is what we want to do. So the Earth Embassy provides a supply pod with new drones. No, we want energy infrastructure. They're going to give us Sterling generators. Oh, hell yeah. Enact that. I am stoked for this Sakota run. You're doing nice. That one's been on my radar for a bit. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Yeah. So far, I'm pretty excited for it because there's so much potential with Sakota. What's your opinion on the latest hotfix? Yeah, 1.13.10. Fortunately, I was so busy yesterday, I didn't get to fully dive into it, and I had to stream this morning, so I gotta do more work into it for myself. Uh-oh. Get this guy away from there. Oop. Look at that. Not a good sign. Let's hope it doesn't get closer to the dome.
Sector scan.
Now I forget what was kind of the default there. Alright. Alright, where's that guy? Yeah, get back there. We need you. The one with all the UI changes, and that finally changes the private investment to prevent it from spamming unprofitable railways. Oh, is that one of the things they added in there? I didn't get to read. I read through the patch notes other than the bug fixes. I didn't get to read all the bug fixes. Is that one of them? Haven't checked it out yet. I've been between a few different runs, so I haven't dug in enough to know the issues with the previous one. Other than a super aggro Great Britain in one run. Yeah, that checks out. Great Britain doing Great Britain things in Victoria 3. Oh yeah, we now have a ton of metal over there. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, let's plan the visit. All right, so let's clear here. So we need to build one battery. So we need to load up 2 concrete, 2 polymers. We'll need some polymers for maintenance. So we'll bring 2 more. And we have a ton of them, so we'll bring a 3rd. We need some machine parts for maintenance on the extractors. We're gonna need like 25 metals to build solar panels and then have some maintenance for them. We don't need the fuel, now they automatically do that. So we'll bring an RC commander, a transport. We really need to get a third transport now. And 8 drones. I think that's it. And let's set this high. I'm a bit apprehensive about the AI update. I've only been playing since 1.13 and the DLC dropped. So I've only ever known great power sending few battalions at a time. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, Great Britain used to send their armies all over the place when you could just send an army overseas willy-nilly. But it also, I mean, the AI update, I don't know if it's necessarily going to make the AI super, like, even more aggressive. It might, but it might not. It's just supposed to make them do it smarter. Because there were situations where the AI before 1.13 was overly aggressive and didn't need to be. Alright, let's bring this over here. Now, over here, we're gonna start building a ranch. Yeah, here we can put an electronics store, because we're gonna have electronics. Uh-oh, where? Oh, no! Got my RC commander. Okay. Let's turn that off. And you just stay frosty over there for now. Wonderful.
Cable fault.
Private investment no longer endlessly expands railways that can never become profitable. That will be nice. Yeah, there have been a couple runs like that where I'm just like, ugh. Alright, luckily we have this second RC commander that can come and fix the first.
A building has stopped working.
Yeah. Oh my god, if the IP doesn't spam as much anymore, that'll be nice. I'll check it out tonight. Yeah. So they're playing just before the Great Wave update. And what else were we putting here? Yeah, a diner. So they can get that. And then we'll do our usual... Well, no, hold on. There was something else we put here. Oh, yes. Well, we do want to build a recon center. Yeah, unfortunately not over there. So that we can get other asteroids, so we'll put that there. And then I guess for now we'll just do the small garden in the middle here. We'll keep that space open. So we're saving this for the electronics factory, Martian University, more housing. So yeah, that's pretty much what we want here. There we go. Now fix up all this stuff. My expectation is that the Great Powers won't do the weak early attacks anymore. So you'll have a little more time, but not to sit on your hands. Yeah, they'll probably wait till they can do real attacks later. So you'll have more time to prepare, but you'll definitely need to prepare. Yeah, I think one of the once the AI is able to really start using their ships, especially Britain, I think I foresee one of the new gameplay styles is probably going to be getting a small arms factory going early on, and then building up some naval fortifications. Because those will be great buildings that don't that will defend against naval invasions, and that's really the biggest problem with Great Britain when it can finally start using its navy.
Warning. Insufficient
Yeah,
resources.
great powers are like the monsters always living around when you play minor nations. Yeah, I've never done a true great powers run, actually. My only two full playthroughs were with Argentina pre-Great Wave and Japan post-Great Wave, but without the actual DLC. I think, I always say, I don't think people should play as great powers while they're still learning the game, and then once you finally get to a point where you're like, oh, I finally get what's going on here, then I think the United States is the first great power you should play, because the US, all the great powers I think are not good to learn the game on, but once you know what you're doing, the United States is a pretty easy country to play. They've got so many resources, they get so much migration, and they don't have a specific, they don't have like a specific DLC attached to them. So you're not dealing with like crazy unique situations like when you play with France and you have like all of the voice of the people stuff. Wait, what? So where's my other... Whoa! Oh, I didn't realize our asteroid lander left already. Oh, good. Alright, just finish this and then we can finally get stuff going over here. When this lands back on Earth, we're gonna bring people over here and get that going. Alright, so these guys should finish the tracks. How are we doing on oxygen now? Alright, we have enough. We're not really filling things up a lot, though. Yeah, this is... Alright. We need to get much more oxygen stored here. I know the minute we drop some people off in this dome, we're gonna get hit with like a dust storm. So let's build another Moxie. Yeah, we don't want to put it too close to that or that. Yeah, then we can just connect the power over here. And let's get this done sooner rather than later. Yeah, I gotta find the balance. Simpler isn't always easy, but it helps. That's why Congo feels like the Goldilocks zone. Yeah. You have to research most of the texts so you know what each one gives you. Yeah. Oh, we need to turn this on. I really want to do a Madagascar run. The Marina Kingdom. Because that one, you really start with, like, no tech. Oh! Yes, here we go. Let's take a save now that we've got all this set up. So that earlier crash today really scarred me. Oh man, we need to bring the Explorer here. Alright, so here's our asteroid. Oh, so we only got metal? Alright, I mean, we could use metals. So we're gonna land this thing over here. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff there. Alright, we'll land it here. You won't fully utilize the tools you have, whereas I checked the Marina Kingdom the other day, and they don't have hardly any techs. Yeah, and if you started there, you spent the first 10 years just researching the tech to build your tier 1 industries. I know. Isn't that wonderful? Well, this thing takes a long time to land here. Which would be harder than somewhere like Congo without really gaining anything for the challenge. Yeah, even Sweden feels too advanced to start to me, yeah. Yeah, that's why I feel like... It's so funny, because I feel like so many people are always like, you know, the starter countries are all like the big countries. I was just like, I don't know about that, you know? Yeah, so let's get a micro G metals extractor going. So I want to put a power accumulator like right here. Yes, perfect. And then we want to build 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. And then let's get the universal depot going right here. And then you go right there. You can be right in the middle. Now, first things first, let's get all the resources off of this. Let's send this back to Mars so it can come back with the Explorer. Now, how much time do we have on with this meteor? Oh, do we get unlimited time with this one? Maybe because it's our first one. So in the original game, you only had a certain amount of time with each asteroid. This asteroid music is new too. It's giving me anxiety. So put everything over there.
New special project available.
Oh, yes. Did we get this back? The capturing of ice asteroids has been successfully completed. With the use of special craft, we pursued and deflected the asteroids off their trajectory with nothing more than slight bumps. Thus, we have managed to gracefully steer large amounts of soon-to-be easily accessible water towards the surface of Mars. In this game of space billiard, though, there's always a chance that the ball will hit the wrong pocket. Be ready to deal with a Mars quake. Oh, we got a Mars quake. Damn. But yes, so we now have 5% water. All right. So let's pay attention to what we're doing here. load everything else back up. Yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with everything Great Britain has going on while still trying to figure out the basics. Oh my god, yeah, that would be horrendous. One of the first ones I did was Dynam, where the first building Cambodia built was... Yeah, not a bad first country to pick. Alright, now let's send you back. Yeah, there's no cargo requested. The rocket will depart without cargo once it is refueled. Yeah, that's exactly what we want.
Funding received.
I feel like the asteroids here look a lot cooler. Now, another thing we're going to want to do is get a ramp built. But we're going to end up building... But we're going to lose some materials. Yeah. Oh, there we go. And let's get a large dumping station so that this thing can take a dump. Oops, didn't want to do that. You know, okay, fine, load up the rocket. First thing to build is the energy. Because we can't get the micro-G thing going. Actually, that's not true. We want this thing built first.
Funding received.
First thing, the first building Cambodia built was a construction sector. It screwed up my economy. So I dropped them as a subject because I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Alright, so just collect all the resources and put them there. No, this gets low priority. Do not be doing that right now. All right, nice. So we've got 2 greenhouse gas factories going. So we are raising the temperature 0.5 a sol, which is good. Large dumping site. New novelty bathroom sign just dropped. Yeah, that's right. The Surviving Mars bathroom sign. Large dumping site. Oh, hey, DeWolfie, what's up, what's up? Good morning, my friend. How are you? Good to see you, as always, as always. Alright, so you go back over there. Now, I want this guy to continue, yeah, picking up... Well, picking up metals, really. Oh, yeah, look at all this stuff. So just collect all of this stuff. And bring it over here. Oh, we can bring people now. So we're gonna want 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want 6 non-specialty, 4 geologists. Oh, I remember now what the other building was gonna be. a med bay. So 10 and then 2 medics. Let's do that. So let's get rid of all the flaws. Oh wait, what am I doing? No, we want them, we don't want them. So we need 4 geologists. Ooh, a gamer. Recover sanity when gaming. We're gonna have a gaming thing there. Sexy and a workaholic, you know it. Nerd hippie, but a youth. Enthusiast, religious, composed. Alright, we'll do that. Then we need 2 medics. Ah, nice. And we just have 2. Rugged, nerd, and sexy. Everybody's sexy here. Mars is bringing sexy back. How many youths do we have? 2. Workaholic. Nice. Nice. Oh no, slight toothache. But otherwise fine. Ah, those are always the worst. I'm sorry, my friend. Yikes. I always call it the throne room, not dumping site. Speaking of that, I think it's time pre-bed tradition. See you tomorrow or next week. Ah, yeah, okay. I'll see you, my friend. I'll see you. Actually, oh, I keep forgetting to say, not next week. I'm actually going to be off from streaming, so I will be on tomorrow night though. Otherwise, it'll be the following week. But yeah, have a good night, my friend. I'll see you next time. Let's see. What do we want? Yeah, I'll load up all the people who are gamers. Oh, am I just... Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 minutes. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Launch them. Let's turn the dome on. And then over here, where we have all the machine parts, let's get another wind turbine going. Oh, no, actually, let's not do that. I keep forgetting. We can upgrade all of these wind turbines. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay. Yeah, upgrade all of these to polymer blades. My favorite bathroom sign meme was the person who took the kitchen sign that said, "In this house, we lick the bowl." Hung it over their toilet. Yeah. Oh my god, my favorite one. Some friends of mine in college, they got they had gotten an apartment of their own off-site, and they had this sign in their bathroom and they hung it perfect, like eye level for when you were sitting on the toilet. It was on the wall across from you at eye level, and it was a picture of Jeff Goldblum from The Fly doing one of those like Jeff Goldblum stares, and underneath it was written, "Jeff Goldblum is watching you poop." And it always floored me. I want to put that in my apartment now, but I don't know if my wife would be cool with that. She's like, "I don't want Jeff Goldblum to watch me poop, thank you very much." All right. Don't have any pain meds at home, though. Ah, gonna get someone's stores open, yes. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks then. Yep, see you in 2 weeks, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Sounds like you're putting together a reality TV show on Mars. with a bunch of hot grind culture bros. You know, you laugh, but we actually are going to be doing that. We're, let's see. Where's the thing that lets us do that? I forget what tech it is. It's under, yeah, it's under social. Yeah, live from Mars. We can build the TV studio workshop, which generates funds by completing TV shows. So we will be doing that, actually. Alright, oh, yes. Let's get the self-sufficient lighting going. We hustle, we grind. My favorite sign are one that show the correct and wrong ways to use the toilet. Oh yeah, toilet brush. I can let your imagination if the wrong ways work. Oh god. I don't know. Do I want to know? Oh yeah, okay, so let's get, so this guy, we're just gonna send you back to the asteroid, but this time, bring the Explorer with you. And that's it. Now, yeah, load that thing up. This guy is doing nothing. How's our asteroid doing? All right. So we got this going. What's this thing loading up?
Assembly session open.
What's it doing? No, 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 don't take waste rock. Okay. No. Okay, unload that. Collect the polymers and put them there. And then I guess we'll do the rest of this stuff over here. Jeff Goldblum is such a treasure. Yeah. Yeah, I met him once at a job I was working. He was promoting this play he was in. And I was excited to meet him because I'm such a big Jurassic Park fan. And there's a lot of other things I've liked him in as well, but I was excited to meet him, and I have to say, he was a pretty creepy guy. He's actually a little bit creepy in real life, just like you, I guess you would think. I hate to say it. But I did get a picture with him, and that was cool. Ah, good. This deposit is running out. I kind of don't mind that. Oh yeah, that thing's doing that thing. Okay.
Ability has stopped working.
Let's stop working. So, why are we not? Why do you not have food? They got a heavy drone workload there. Okay. So what do we got? 26 here. Let's keep 20 over here, and then we'll unload the other ones over here. There we go. Who wouldn't want a long, unbroken eye contact with Jeff Goldblum while they poo? Yeah, why not? I mean, it is funny. So I was just ahead of the game. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I keep forgetting we have this legislative session. Oh, you're turning around. Last stream, you had only 100 million in the budget. Yeah, yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. I hadn't looked up at the budget in a little bit. We've been sending a bunch of rare metals back to Earth, so we yeah, we've got quite a bit of money back in the bank. Okay, everyone, I have to go. See y'all later. Yeah, Max out. Good hanging with you for a little bit. Thanks for Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you next time. Alright, one more. Is anybody gonna bring this last one over there?
Sector scan.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's about to go back. Ah, and we are at the hour mark. So we do have to take a quick 90-second break because we're about to get hit by ads, and so pay homage to the gods of ads here. So 90 seconds, and we will be right back. All right, and we're back, and we're back. There was a pair of twins I knew in high school whose parents had a full-size painting of Jesus on the closet door immediately across from the toilet in their guest bathroom. Oh my god, in the style of the tall candles, it was kind of a meme among their friends. Whoa! Oh my god, that's, yeah. That would be a sight. That would be a sight right there. Coming out of the bathroom, be like, whoa, what is that? All right, what do we want to do here? Oh yeah, resource subsidy. A selected resource becomes free to import, but the rocket travel time is greatly increased. Nah, actually, we don't really need to do that yet. Reduce all building costs in concrete and metals. We could kind of use that right now, actually, for metals. So let's prepare that one. Oh, wait. Oh, this will cost us 50 million per soul, though. What's this? Focus the research efforts. Oh, making text from a specific tree cost less research points. Yeah, let's prepare that one. Alright. Alright, so that's taken off. Good. Now, you come over here. Collect everything that's over there and put it there. How we doing here? Almost done. Yeah, so we're definitely not getting all these metals out of there. Ah, but we do have a bunch of rare metals here. Alright. Soon we're gonna have some people living over here. Oh, now we just need... Okay, yeah, we are gonna need more electronics. So we need to get about 5. Oh, yeah. I wanted to build another forestation plant over here. And I wanted to get rid of, yeah, the,
Warning. Split power grid.
I realize
Warning.
I don't need
Split power grid.
to have these guys connected to any power lines, because part of the benefit we get as the Terraforming Initiative is that... Oh, you know, I forgot. We were gonna send people over here so that we could not have it as crowded. So I can use 4 people over here. Let's turn on this. Let's turn that on. So you head over there. You move over here. You move over here. And then we need to take one other... Where's this guy working?
Warning.
Yeah, security.
Insufficient resources.
Over here. Alright. And then let's destroy this thing. Oh no, like in the bathroom. Like the Jeff Goldblum picture you mentioned. Oh, it was a little intense to have Big JC scrutinizing everything you might be doing in there. Oh my god. I thought for some reason in my mind what I pictured was like it was visible from the bathroom when you were in the bathroom. Like a psycho-spiritual surveillance technique. Oh my god. In the bathroom? That's crazy. Why? Like, it makes you wonder, why would somebody want that? What on earth would make somebody want that in their bathroom? Alright, so what do we get here? We'd only get...
A rocket has arrived. New
5
colonists have
food
arrived.
out of this. 5 per soul. Let's start with chickens, because I like to have one...
Milestone completed.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause for a second. I like to have one that's quick. Will get us some food quickly. Then we have the rabbit here. That'll get us 15 every 2 souls. 45 every 4. 60 every 5. Yeah, then let's do turkeys. Ah, good. Okay, this thing is back here. Oh, and we got this down here now. Okay. And so basically, once we collect all the resources down here, we'll send this guy back to Mars. Fireworks, yeah. Yeah, what was it they were doing fireworks for? Oh, you know what it is? I think we went over 100 colonists. We've got a lot of Martian-born. Look at that.
The building has stopped working.
It's not bad. All right, so this guy, do the research ones first. And now... All right, so go back to the colony. And... yeah, take all those rare metals. Take all of these metals. Take all but 5 of the polymers. Machine parts, fuel, waste rock. Yeah. There we go. So prepare all that. All right, and now we can leave everybody to do their thing there. Yeah, their parents were interesting people, 60s, 70s hippies who became born-again Christian. At least they were cooler and more fun than most of the stuffy conservative parents, but had some weird quirks even in hindsight. Yeah, I bet. They put a life-size picture of Jesus in the bathroom to watch you. Definitely some quirks. All right, so let's keep that off for now.
Some colonists are earthsick.
Yeah. And so... now we can destroy that. So what would people like here? Relaxation, drinking, exercise. Four for relaxation. You know, we could get that from one of these things. Relaxation and exercise if we put a guard in there. So we'll get a garden back in here. We got to build more power infrastructure. Oh, you know what? Do I... where are those prefabs? Oh, good. They're listed as, like, back on Mars. That's good, that's good. Okay. And so far, Musk hasn't gotten any person Mars. You're already at 100, stuck on stuck on that muskrats. Yep. Or stuck on that muskrats. Yeah. I like that muskrats. Oh my god. I think that's what I'm gonna think now every time. Muskrats. Look, not only do we have people, I got chickens on Mars. I got chickens on Mars before he got people. And we're about to get turkeys. Coming from someone who would eventually go from conservative family to weirdo hippie punk. I mean, isn't that kind of the trajectory? I guess, yeah, not always. But weirdo hippie punk, I feel like the path to that is overly conservative family. Alright, so let's do more of these. Yeah, nice smelly chickens. That's right. Yeah, right? I didn't think of that. We have an open... Hold on, where are they? We have an open air farm in a dome. Yikes. Sorry, everybody. How's your terraforming? Good, good. So we have 4% atmosphere. This is going up because we have these greenhouse gas factories going. So 3.5% temperature rise, 5% water level, and we're almost at 1% vegetation. Speaking of which, when the hell is this going to get back? Alright, let's send this back home. You know, we could use, at the moment, more electronics. So let's do that. Heavy workload. Yeah, of course there's going to be a heavy workload.
Heavy drone workload.
Oh, we got one of those things already. Nice. We're almost done with the electronics factory. We're going to need 10 people to work it. Well, the twins were an interesting example of that kind of tendency. A lot of the families were conservative, so a lot of kids rebelling were drinking, doing drugs, etc. Whereas the twins
has stopped working.
No free living space. Yeah. Those guys always with that. Ah, yes. All right. So let's also wait for this to be done. And then we can add even more polymers to go back home. But the twins were some of the most straight-edge people I knew, and were relatively conservative as they got older. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing too, right? Like, sometimes conservative families don't breed a hippie punk. They just breed another conservative. All right, let's edit this. Let's bring the transport back. And then we'll add a couple more polymers to the mix. Actually... yeah, there we go. We'll do that. So we'll take this guy out of there.
Research complete.
Yes! We got the electronics factory. Alright, time to build it. Doesn't take a lot of power, so that's good.
A building has stopped working.
Whoa, how did this already fill up? Um... Alright, let's turn it on. Why is there a botanist here? What are you doing there? Is there really no other living space? It's about time we built a retirement dome. What's being blocked? Yeah, see, we have something for a passage.
Stopped working.
Yeah, I gotta flatten the terrain. Alright, let's start working on that. So the problem is, so you'll see here, we have, like, this, this person here,
Insufficient resources.
but they're a senior now, so they don't work. But they still take up a housing slot at the dome. So, at some point, it's good to build another dome where you're just straight up gonna house seniors, and so basically like a retirement dome, and you fill it up with, like, service and comfort buildings. But then you can move all of your seniors over here. Yeah, finally you can send Earth electronics. Yes, finally. We need it. Alright, so let's
A building has
flatten.
stopped working. A rocket has arrived.
Yeah, let's flatten that. You know, also at this point, we really could use another transport. Oh, now we have too many metals. So you bring that back over here. Because Lord knows we could use some metals over here. Alright. Someday this rocket will get back to us. Oh, that took off. Alright. Excellent. So on the next cargo shipment, we can bring this guy back over there.
A building has stopped working.
We're kind of on the edge with power here. Ah, good. That's going home. Alright, so now we're doing some turkeys. As one does on Mars. Let's see, this was our first extractor, so how's this doing? We still got a good amount there. This one is just about done. Oh, did we ever get that forestation plant? No. Yeah, we need some electronics sent over here. Oh, this is all flat now. Excellent. Can we get a dome over here now? Not really. So I think it's this stuff up there. All right, how about now? Yes, there we go. Now the thing is, we don't want it within range of that. So we'd want the edge of it be like... Yeah, perfect. But then, are we going to be able to fit... Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's build this. This will be the requirement dome. Alright, and let's get this guy out here. Yeah, insufficient resources there, that's true. So just load up the rest of these electronics, because we need all these. We're gonna send them... we'll leave, like, 5 here. And let's bring the rest of them over here. We can finish this. Oh man, we're gonna need like 15 here. Okay, hold on, maybe... How far did that transport get? Oh, over here. Yeah, just take the rest of these. Yeah, we're gonna be like one short to be able to finish the electronics factory. Oh, just shy. Whatever. We'll get another one somewhere. Actually, you know what we'll do? We don't need the forestation plant yet, because we really do need this electronics factory. So, when this rocket gets back home, we're going to need, in terms of who we're bringing... Yeah, God. We need like 20 workers. So we actually need to build another apartment complex. Because what, we get 24 here. So basically, I'm gonna be building enough to do that. Ah, nice. Okay, this one's back. You go back there. Bring nothing with you. Clear all of the stuff out. Yeah, look at that. We need many more drones. How are we? Yeah, good. We're doing drone printing right now. Hey, Red and Foxy, what's up, what's up? Update, Steam controller came in. It's so much better than I ever expected. Oh, nice. All right. Why? What's so good about it? Tell me, I need to know. Because I want to get one. So let me know it makes sense for me to get one. It emulates a full mouse setup as well. Oh man. Why is Valve so great? Alright. Very cool, very cool. Alright. So we can import some more greenhouse gases. Yeah, we can get, so we can get toxic rains at 25% atmosphere, 25% heat. Toxic rains will end when we get 5% of water. So we should be focusing more on atmosphere. Yeah. So we need more money. Alright, so we'll let this stick around for a little bit. Not to mention on Linux, it is entirely plug and play. Oh. So great. That's so great. Yeah, so basically what it's like perfect if you're trying to build like your own game console then, right? The controller of choice for it. Actually, so like the controller I have for when I want to play like console-like games on here is like a Xbox controller. I guess even for this computer, I guess I should get like a Steam controller. I say I should. I say it as I should because really I want it.
Assembly session open.
Alright, we prepared something before. What did we prepare? Oh, food-producing buildings get bonus production depending on the vegetation terraforming score. Oh, that one's actually pretty good. Oh yeah, but we wanted to get this. Biotech technologies require 10% less. You know, we'll do terraforming for right now, because this will help us finish our first sponsor goal. Oh yes, farms increase the comfort of all residences in the dome. Let's do that. Oh, actually, yeah, and then at some point we need to get Martian University. Oh, something got blocked? Oh, I can allow this one. I'll allow it. You know what it was pinging? Finger in. It actually showed me. That it didn't like the combination of the words finger in. Edit to my message, I meant left click. This being said, it pretty much does everything I want. Wait, so the left touchpad emulates the scroll wheel. You spin your finger in a circle. Yeah, finger in a circle. They didn't like finger in. Clicking the touchpad emulates the middle mouse click. Left trigger is context menu, right click. Underside bottom left menu is Windows key. left 5 plus right 5 is tab back to last window. Wow. That is so cool. That's so cool. It's so innovative too, how you can like emulate a keyboard in a controller. I love it. Okay. We should build more. Now, I'm really kind of leaning into wind energy here. Yeah, can I get one more? Like, if I put this right there. Yes, perfect. So you don't want to be within this because this thing kicks up dust. So anything within this radius is going to need maintenance more often. Not to mention, you can set your game up to decide if a player is AFK or not based on if their hands are detected on the controller. What? Yes, there's sensors for this, and I made a proof of concept to see if it was possible. Oh, man. That's wild. You have to be touching the controller or you're out of here. That's cool. Wow, wow, wow. Oh yeah. So let's go empty this out over here.
Warning, insufficient resources.
How do we not have enough? You know what? Why don't you stop by over here and pick up some electronics? Ooh, okay. We're out of security people. You know, I think it's time we, like, bought another rocket. Yeah, we need 3 billion to do it. Steam legit made the best controller on the market. Wow. No wonder it's like such a long wait list to get it. Oh, hey, Mauricio, what's up, what's up? How you doing, my friend? How's the game going, Ham? Had to go AFK for most of the stream. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Good to have you back, though. Whoa, a new faction has become part of the assembly, Dominion of Mars. What is that? Anyway, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. What the hell is the Dominion of Mars? The politics of Earth and of Mars are two very different beasts, and we must not even for a second consider that the solutions working on Earth will work on Mars. A small society does not need elaborate politics. It needs to be swift and ready to act. From Mars, our future dominion. Ruh-roh. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, and these guys lost some seats. Oh, damn. This is completely outside of that dome, or that drone hub. We also, yeah, we need more. We need more power infrastructure here. You know, when are you guys gonna get me that Stirling generator? Like, half past never over here. Let's also upgrade all of these guys. Alright. Yeah, Dominion are basically the local authoritarians. You got the Martian supremacists. I know. Wonderful, wonderful. It's like we're playing Victoria 3 all over again, huh? We got the rocket back. Okay, so... Alright, so we need a bunch of... engineers. Survivor, sexy alcoholic will take you. Come, coward, whiner, party animal, sure, and melancholic. Ah, man, that's all we got, huh? Okay. Yeah. We'll take the Utes. And then... Any other gamers? Yep. 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 Oh, we definitely don't want any vegans in that dome, since we have that ranch. All right, let's do that. Yep, this is good. Yeah, let's stop accepting colonists here. Nice. Okay, so this is back. We've got plenty of resources to shuttle over. As another fun fact, you don't even need the puck. It's connected via Bluetooth, and as long as you have Steam open, you can update controller firmware. Wow. Man. See, I like it when something is, like, well made like that. Like, where they think of all the little small nuances you'll need for something. Like, I have to say, as somebody who has kind of soured on Apple and is going to start switching away from Apple devices, that was one thing I felt like Apple always did well. When they made a device, they had a bunch of small little things you could do with it that were clearly, like, not something, like, mind-bending, but mind-blowing, I mean. But just a bunch of little uses that made the overall ease of use a little bit better. That kind of sounds like what you're describing with the Steam controller here. Knowing humanity is totally realistic, within a few years of colonizing Mars, some of the settlers are going to feel superior to every Earthian and manifest destiny the whole planet. Yeah. And you know, it's just like a matter of time until we go to war with everybody. Steam has whole step-by-step context menus for this, but this was the easiest I've ever seen a controller be updated ever, and in seconds. Wow. I agree wholeheartedly. Well, to be fair, my personal opinion here, this is the best controller I've ever used. Oh, man. Now I want it. Now I want it. How long is the wait list? Valve just keep on winning. I know. No wonder why the big three are trying to shut them down by any means. It's a long wait list. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Steam is like really cutting into business. I mean, Steam made Linux gaming on Linux like legit. I mean, talk about, that's a feat in and of itself right there. Oh yeah, let's make sure we're sending this back. So we want to take all the metals. And all of these polymers. Well, we'll leave 3. Yeah, and the RC Explorer. We can bring that back. Now, you know, I never got an alert as to what any of those events were. Now that I think about it, what was the point of any of that? Did you sign up for the wait list? I didn't. I didn't sign up for anything. I was like, oh, should I get it? I don't know. Should I? I don't know. And now I'm like not on the wait list at all. So I should sign up now. Also, rereading it has been interesting. I know the twist since I've read it before, but I picked up little things towards the end this time that I didn't remember picking up before. Oh wait, I missed something. Oh, ooh, there it is. Oof, my breaks at work aren't nearly long enough. I'm almost at the end of the book. I got to start the final battle right as I had to go back to work, and I haven't want to say F it and just keep reading instead of going back to work for a while. Wait, which book are you reading? I forget. Also, rereading it has been interesting. I know the twist since I've read it before, but I picked up little things towards the end this time that I don't remember picking up before. Really good writing. Oh man, what is it again? You know, I think you're missing something Valve has been funding. They payroll a significant amount of open source. Creators can still do whatever they want is the big thing. They just need to continue dev. Oh! This includes FEX, which allows ARM devices like Android the ability to run x86 normal PC games. Oh, man. That's awesome. So yeah, like funding, just funding the development of Linux stuff. Do whatever you want, but just keep doing it. See, that's great. That's great. You know, I have to say, to Sony's credit, I've heard that that's basically that's their approach to like the studios that they buy up. They buy up all these small studios, but apparently when they get them, they're like, just do whatever you do. We're not going to get involved in it. Just, it's going to be published under us. But you can do whatever you want to do. And that's probably, and I do think Sony makes pretty good games. And so it reminds me of that. Even though I'm now planning to switch off a PlayStation. Oh, Ender's Game. That's right, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I need to go back and rewatch the movie. I don't remember anything about it except feeling like it was rushed. Yeah. Oh, Ender's Game. I had another book I was gonna read after this, but now I just want to read through this whole series again. Yeah, I think the problem with the Ender's Game movie is that it was like, it came out in the midst of that, like, teenage post-apocalyptic craze, which I'm not going to act like I'm above. I was totally all into that. But I think that's why the movie just like was focusing more on like the teenage romance and angst and all that stuff. All right, let's cancel this because we're not going to be able to build that there. Yes, exactly. And that's what we need more of, man. Nah, Sony... Oh, yeah, yeah. Sony isn't very good with open source. Oh, you got blocked again. Wait, can I... Let me go in there. Can I... Oh, yeah, there we go. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I wonder why sometimes it lets me allow or deny things, and sometimes it just straight up doesn't give me the option. They are running a Linux Unix-based operating system and just said F off to the entirety of open source after they took the code, which they can do. It's just for a big company that's super scummy behavior. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, because wasn't it always a thing that like starting at the PS3 you could load Linux onto a PlayStation, which means yeah, it's all like Linux based, right? And yet it's proprietary. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've been a PlayStation person for most of my life, but I'm kind of souring on them. Like Sony and Microsoft with the Xbox and the PlayStation. Like what really killed it for me is when both companies announced the next systems are not going to have a disk drive. They're trying to like kill physical media, just because like it's just another element of like in-shitification. Like they can't expand their profits to new people, so they basically just have to like squeeze more profits out of the current customers. And so now they want to make sure we can't like buy used games. We have to buy it off of new games off of their network. I'm like, screw that. I'm done with those systems. Yeah, but PS3 and up is all Linux Unix. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I've always heard you could load Linux onto the systems. A colonist has snapped and has started attacking others around the dome. Running naked with a wrench in hand, Vasily Nikitin has already managed to injure several people. Effect, 5 colonists have suffered injuries and have lost 10 health. Hey, I mean, sometimes you just need to run around naked with a wrench, right? Who am I to judge? Send colonists to calm the maniac down. The rescue team was violently attacked by the maniac. After suffering heavy injuries, they managed to pin down the screaming colonist. Vasily Nikitin is safe, but 5 colonists have lost 20 health. Oh my god. Ruh-roh. That is the kind of consolidation I'm okay with, because it's mutually beneficial. If someone wants to bankroll my projects, give me freedom to do what I want, and make some money in it, fine with me. Yeah, right? Exactly. Like, that's how it should be. I mean, that's how, like, you know, like, Renaissance painting basically was. Like, some rich aristocrat would find an artist and be like, here's some money, make something. I don't care what it is, but I just want to be known as the person who bankrolled it, you know? And now fast forward to today, people are like, here's some money, make exactly what I want. That's why I'm absolutely in love with GOG. Yeah, good old games. Steam is much the same aside for some games. You can literally just buy the game, download the EXE, and put it on a USB or physical disc. Yeah, I did not know that about GOG. Like, I just actually was watching a video earlier today after the earlier stream I did. And that was the first time I'd found out about that. I didn't know that's what GOG was about. So, like, that's pretty cool. I mean, are we all going to have to go switch to them? Because Steam is still pretty cool, you know? I kind of like Steam. But I really like that aspect. It was a video, yeah, it was a video that was like, you can now, like, make game discs like we used to have back in the day. Indeed, who are we to judge a man if he wants to run around naked with a wrench? In fact, let's join him. Yeah, right? After the next ad break, I'm gonna come back naked with a wrench. And for anybody who's not as hip to sarcasm, don't worry, I will not be doing that.
A building has stopped working.
As I see the viewership numbers tumble to 0. Like, yeah, you lost me on that one, Pam Cuts. You don't need internet to install it. It's all offline exe installer, like the early 2Ks. Oh, man. And GOG is starting to support Linux as well.
Have arrived.
You can use both, why not? Yeah, that's true. But then you'd have to, like, double buy it, right? If you're using both. Damn, how... What is happening? How are we not finishing this? Now I've got all these people and no jobs for them. All right. So let's launch that. Let's send you guys back to Earth. We'll load you up with just 15 of those. No, you don't. Just buy one copy, whatever's cheaper at the time. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, yeah. Not to mention GOG has a crazy good support initiative, making older games flat out just install and run on new OSs. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. See, that's... God. I feel like the big consoles really have a big problem. Where, like, computer gaming... I guess I should say this, like, computer gaming has been the thing for a long, long time. I just wasn't into it. But for me, it's like... The last couple years of my life have been all about computer gaming. And, like, I'm in my 40s, so that means I've been a console gamer for, like, a long, long time. So, I'm loving this newfound PC gaming that's I've been getting into over the last, I guess, maybe like 1.5 to 2 years now. Ender's Game was a perfect example of an adaptation that would have been better as a show. Yeah, I was the target demo for those YA post-apocalyptic fiction books, but it bothered me that they cut so much, especially Peter and Valentine's side plot. Yeah, I get why they cut it, but they were important for highlighting the contrast of Ender's characters with each of their extremes, since he's kind of the synthesis of the two of them. Without them, you just don't get that part of him, so his character development isn't as fleshed out. Yeah, like, it's been a little bit of time now since I watched the movie, because I watched the movie when it first, like, got released on video. But from what I remember, like, Valentine's, like, whole story, they kind of cut out, right? Like, she was just kind of like the Hollywood, she's just there to support him type of thing, right? Whereas in the book, she's like a freaking genius. They also are heavy supporters of the modding scene. Massive mod packs are just available, easily one-click install on GOG. Ah, see, and that sounds like what we have on Steam. Like, going back to what we were talking about a couple nights ago, it's nice that there's at least one company out there that gets it. Looking at, like, what worked for Steam, they're like, oh, it's not that they're just a marketplace. There's something else that they were doing. From what you're describing, it sounds like GOG kind of gets it. I gotta look into them more. I feel like I've known of them for a little bit now, but I've never really, like, looked into what they were about. Yeah, I wish I'd tried GOG sooner. My brother recommended it for a while, but I was comfortable with Steam, and I resist change. Yeah, same. Then there was that one time when Apple refused customer support for someone who had a modified Mac by calling it a PC, and Apple don't make PCs. Oh, I don't know about that one. Oh, I gotta look that up. So he modified the Mac and they called it a PC. Yeah, do you know, like... So I've been wanting to get into, like, learning more about how to fix computers, right? And I remembered earlier today, my wife has an old, like, power book that doesn't work anymore, that was sitting in a closet somewhere. So I went and took that down, and so I was looking at it, and so this is a power book. This is, I don't know, going back to, like, 2006 or something like that. So this is like a 20-year-old laptop at this point. And it was amazing to me, like, where Apple has gone. Because that power book, when you open up the underside of it, it had a panel that you could open up, and you could take out the RAM, put a new one in, take out the SSD drive, put a new one in there. You could turn a little thing, the battery comes off, you could replace the battery. Like, you used to be able to, like, repair and upgrade those things. They've just completely gone away from that. It's awful. All right, though, we are at the 2-hour mark, so we're about to get hit by ads. So we do have to take a quick 90-second break and pay homage to the gods of ads so that we don't have to watch ads during gameplay here. So 90 seconds and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. And we're back, and we're back. All right, let me catch up here. Oh, or it was a cease and desist case. Oh my god. Ugh. We have two that just get it. GOG changed hands to the old owner, and it's just getting better and with more support. Man, yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna start exploring GOG a little bit there. Because I've been hearing about it, but I just haven't actually looked it up yet. Yeah, in the book, her and Peter have a whole plot where they influence politics. Yes, that writing under pseudonyms together. Yeah, now it's coming back to me. Felt really prescient to today's media environment. Yeah, remembering that was one of the things that made me want to read it again. Yeah, they completely got rid of that. I think, yeah, that's kind of thing I was thinking of about, like, she has this just... She's like one of the smartest people, and they just cut all of that out. Old tech is just so easy to support for everything is just interchangeable and repairable. Yeah, everything used to be repairable, right? And it's like, I think for me especially, I've spent the last like 15, 18 years as kind of like a dedicated like Mac user. And it's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like that analogy with like the frog in boiling water, where like if you drop a frog in boiling water, it jumps out, but if you put them in the water and then slowly boil it, they just stay there until they die. I've been on, like, I started on Apple when things were repairable and interchangeable, and then slowly over time, less and less repairable and upgradable, until I've just finally realized, like, if the littlest thing gets outdated on my phone or my computer, like, I just got to replace the whole damn thing. And I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm also like so tired of every time, like, when I have to buy like a laptop or a phone, I'm like, I need to spend the extra money to get the highest tier version of it, because this is what I'm gonna have for like the next 7-8 years. And to Apple's credit, I mean, I feel like their devices do last a long period of time, because I do take care of my electronics, but I'm tired of having to shell out tons and tons of money because over its life cycle, I can't upgrade the damn thing. So I gotta buy it at the highest tier at the moment that I purchase it, so that it'll last that long period of time. And then my current laptop I had gotten because my son broke my last laptop, but I didn't have enough money to buy the highest tier thing. And now 3 years in, it's starting to like show signs of age. Like, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of not being able to upgrade things. I'm tired of not being able to fix things. It's just awful. Yeah, I get it. I'm on the same page as you. Yeah. Yeah. And then the fact that, like, I don't know, the whole country is starting to be ruled by a bunch of like tech oligarchs. I'm ready to just decentralize every single technological aspect of my life. All right, let's land this over here. Too bad, I was hoping I wouldn't have to, like...
A building has stopped working.
We'll just land it right there. Sounds like you'd love to hear what a guy named Louis Rossmann have to say about the world. Oh, no, I actually don't know that name. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I would like to hear it. What does he have to say?
A rocket has arrived.
I also, too, like, have finally started to become aware of just how, like, wasteful, like, how much waste, like, tech waste we have, you know? It really is a big problem. And the constant upgrade cycle. Like, I'm actually looking into getting a switching my phone. I'm definitely not going to stay on an iPhone. I still have one now because I guess I'm going to ride it out while it still works. But I think the next phone I get is going to be a Fairphone. I've been reading about them, and I really like what they're about. Ooh. Lewis Rossman is such a good guy. His initiatives with Fulu Foundation are genuinely incredible with Grey J and the other software his foundation produces, and the Right to Repair Act campaigning and activism. He's a rich guy dedicated to funding and making stuff better for the normal guy. That's awesome. I love to hear that. I have to say, when it comes to tech and like our rights as a consumer with tech, I really like all the stuff coming out of Europe. Europe is really on the right trajectory, at least compared to the United States. Oh, we have a legislative session. In terms of like our right to own things, and also just our rights in regards to like our data, our privacy, and tech and all that stuff. So, all right, let's let the factions choose something here. So we can say the assembly can vote on laws, but it cannot pick its own agenda. Actually, no, wait, there was something I prepared before. What was it that I prepared? Thought there was something I prepared. Yeah, no, we don't need to enact that. I guess we'll do this insurance one. Oh yeah, that is going to cost money, though. Yeah, we can do free food. Let's do free food. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately is de-skilling. It came up in some AI discussions. Oh yeah, I think I know where you're going with this, but I don't think people think about it in the context of planned obsolescence. When you can't fix things, you never learn to. Yes, which reinforces your reliance on buying things. By design, no doubt part of making repairable things is reclaiming the skills required to repair your tools. Yes, becoming more self-reliant. Yes, absolutely. I've been reading a lot into this too about how like yeah, if you don't use a skill, you lose it. Now, I was watching this in just in regards to like AI slop and all of that, and how AI is making like art and stuff like that. And so we're gonna like lose those skills as artists, right? But yeah, it's the same thing.
Sector scan.
It's the same thing with being able to repair things. Like I think about for myself, when I was a kid, I was heavily into computers. I was all about computer programming. I knew BASIC, like, when I was a kid. And, I mean, I know it's not much of a thing anymore, but, like, I taught myself HTML back in the day when HTML was just starting. Like, I was very much into, like, programming and all that stuff. And so when I went to college, I went in as a computer science major, and it was kind of great. My first year of college was, at least in my major courses, was a bit of a breeze, because I already knew C++. And so I was sitting in these C++ classes like, yeah, whatever. It was all the other GE, Gen Ed stuff that kicked my butt in my first year of college. But I eventually switched to theater and became a writer. And now fast forward to today, like, I don't know any programming. I don't know any programming languages. I lost all of it. And so when you stop doing something, you do just completely lose the skill. Like, I would be completely lost looking at C++, and I was thinking about that recently. Like, it's so sad because I used to be so proficient in it. So yeah, you kind of lose it, right? What are Fairphones? Haven't heard of it, but I'm intrigued. Oh man, so it's a phone company out of the Netherlands. And so it's twofold. There's two important aspects of it. One, it's a totally modular phone. So the idea is every part of the phone is easily repairable by you. All you need is like a screwdriver. And so you can buy all of the individual parts for the phone, and you can repair them. And then the other thing is, it's all about like ethical building of the phones and sustainability. And so they make a big effort to be about every aspect of the production chain of the phone is like ethically sourced. And they try to make sure as much as they can that every single person along the production chain is getting a livable wage. They try not to use certain materials that are being like unethically like mined and stuff like that. It started as like this Kickstarter campaign trying to highlight the horrible practices of mining cobalt in the Congo. So it's also all about that. And you can get it with the Android OS, but it also comes with an open source OS, Marina EOS. So it's kind of about sustainability in that the phone is highly repairable, and then sustainability in terms of how the phone is constructed. Now the only problem is it's a little difficult to use it in the United States, it seems like. Unless you have T-Mobile, then it seems like it's a little bit easier. But yeah, you should look into it. It's definitely an interesting thing. I might try to switch to it. Well, you saw that most of the European governments swapped to Linux entirely, with additional help and funding going towards developers to work on FOSS projects. Really? Yeah, I believe that. It makes sense. Because European governments, I think, are passing some great laws in terms of consumer rights in terms of tech. That's interesting, though. Even if one is the #1 EU hater, I have the feeling big companies hating the institution is to a good degree because all those governments together is of the few things that can regulate them. Yeah. And I think the thing for Europe is they see that like all of the big tech companies like are of like non-EU actors, but like can in the end can control so much. Like they're looking at the control that these companies have here in the US, and I think they rightfully can see a bit of a threat to that. But if people have rights that cost billionaires money, who will create jobs? Yeah, right? That whole argument kind of gets undercut as the those job creators are like heavily investing in AI so that they don't have to pay people to do stuff, right? So many times companies like Facebook and Apple have been at odds with the EU for basic stuff. Yeah, like consumer protection. Yeah, remember too, like when Apple was pissed that they couldn't like have their own charge cable, and the EU was like, no, you have to have like, you know, you can't have your own weird charge cable. You have to like standardize it. That was like so ridiculous. Yeah, for all the issues I have with my dad, being of modest means meant we had to fix our own stuff. Then I do appreciate that being a part of my upbringing. Yeah, I was like that with computers when I was a kid. I was all about like tinkering with computers and fixing them, and also just like just on like the software end, fixing stuff too. And over the years, at some point in time, I completely lost it. And I think I'm trying to get back to that now. And in the process, I'm starting to realize how much I enjoyed doing that back in the day when I was a kid. Like, I think when GDPR was introduced, Facebook threatened to end their services in the EU because they wouldn't be able to harvest people's data as they please. And Apple, when we decided on a standard, yeah, the USB charging cable, they too threatened to stop selling their stuff here. I know, right? And it's like, when those cases were happening, I guess I wasn't as... I thought, oh, that's an interesting thing happening. But I'm at a mindset now where I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, stop selling over there. Because all these companies are built on the premise of, like, we must expand and become as big as possible. So they'll never stop selling. And that's exactly why, like, Apple caved on that thing. A majority of what I do now is go out of my way to learn stuff, even if I don't necessarily have interests. I go out of my way to learn those specific things, no matter how long it takes to fix or do. On top of that, I go out of my way to learn physical skills and upkeep them. Yeah, I learned soldering and micro soldering when I was young and kept those up. Replacing a memory module is a total of 4 steps: desolder, pattern screen solder after cleaning all surfaces, heat, and resolder. that message is too long, not automod. I got to see it. Yeah, actually, that's funny you mentioned that. Just in the last couple days, like, actually, like, starting I think yesterday, or maybe on Tuesday, Tuesday, I've kind of decided that's the next thing I want to learn. I want to learn how to solder a board so that I can actually, like, upgrade a laptop or fix a laptop. And this whole, like, oh, it's soldered to the board, you can't do anything with it. Like, I want to be able to do something with it. So I want to learn how to do that. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be visiting my parents for the Labor Day holiday, and I know there's a bunch of old laptops at their house. I'm going to get one of those old laptops and just learn how to, like, you know, take the CPU off the board and put it back on there and not worry about messing it up.
The only place we'd thought you could find Ice-15 outside of a lab was on an icy planet or a moon. And here we find it on Mars.
Ice-15 is a super dense phase of water ice, which is formed in extremely cold and extremely high pressure environments. It turns out that the unique geological history of Mars allowed a small quantity of Ice-15 to form under the crust. Even though we didn't confirm any substantial deposits of water, this discovery would cause uproar in the scientific communities and draw significant attention to our efforts on the Red Planet. Our sponsors immediately provided us with tools to discover more about the effects of Martian geology on the formation of underground ice. Oh, we got some funding. Okay. Oh, actually, okay, we got some funding. So now we can send this guy to go capture some greenhouse gases. Off you go. Yeah, it's pretty sad to read how much of your everyday electronics are likely done with, slavery, and companies are like, if I have enough subsidiaries and middlemen, it's not my problem. I know. And it's like, okay, so here's the thing with the Fairphone, right, that I found. I've been doing a lot of research on it, and, you know, there's trade-offs to it. And it seems like consistently the bad review of the Fairphone is that the camera isn't as good as, like, the current generation of, like, iPhone, Samsung, or Google phone, right? And so people are like, oh, the camera isn't as good. And, like, I don't care about that anymore. I'm so tired of being sold these camera upgrades. Like, I don't, like, it's gotten to a point where I don't need any more camera upgrades. Why? I don't need 900 megapixels so that when my daughter runs down the hallway taking pictures of the upside of her nose, like, it's gonna be in, like, you know, 15K. Like, I don't care. I realize, like, here's the level of Apple, Samsung, and Google's camera. And it seems like here's the level of the Fairphone camera, and here's what I need, you know? Like, I'm tired of being sold this nonsense that I don't need. I'd rather take the ethically made phone at this point in my life. Okay, so kind of like the Framework lap. Yes! Oh my god, I want a Framework is the next laptop I'm gonna get. I'm glad someone out there is doing the work to provide alternatives. I'll have to check them out. Yeah, definitely check them out. Framework is doing some really cool stuff. That's definitely the next laptop I want to get. Actually, the Framework laptop is what I think kind of started me on this whole process. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no sort of international institution to regulate companies. Yeah, it's all up to the respective countries, and that's not enough. Yeah, global capital requires global regulations. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Mauricio. It's like, these companies are operating outside of borders, and they're using the idea of, like, the jurisdictional end of countries to their advantage. Yeah, do it. Yeah, right? I definitely am. I definitely am. Just, also, I just want to, a lot of the things, too, I just want to do to see if I can do it. Like, the soldering a board, like, I just want to know if I just want to know if I can. I'm never gonna, like, I'm not gonna open a computer repair shop. I just want to know that I can do it. Yeah, part of switching to Linux has been wanting to get back into coding again. Yeah, I miss it. I'm not wholly opposed to using AI as a learning tool, but vibe coding feels like a waste. Oh god, I hate it. I hate the sound of it. Because it's the coding itself that I enjoyed. Yeah, that's the one thing I do miss when I was a computer science major. Like, staying up to like 3 a.m. in the computer lab, working on a program because it's not working, and then discovering, I missed a semicolon somewhere. But I discovered that because I just finally said, screw this, and I printed on paper all the code and just went through it line by line. I'm like, ah, there it is. And then that satisfaction you get when you finally figure it out and it finally works. I do miss that. Like, it's a problem to be solved. I miss that a lot. Oh, damn, we need to bring machine parts back down there again. Yeah, and then get 5 more here, and then we'll bring them back down here. EU got a very large purchasing power for companies like Apple to just exit out of the market. Yeah, contrary to some particularly insular MAGA peeps, we are not poor over here in Europe. Yeah, it's it's insane to think like, oh, we won't sell in Europe. Like, what? You know damn well you're not going to do that. What a hollow threat that would be. Oh, we're not going to sell in Europe anymore. Yes, okay. Can I recommend a good place to get chips from? Yeah! DigiKey. It's online orders and has pretty much anything you will ever need. Just be aware of module order minimums. Hold on, I'm gonna bring up my little note sheet that I have up while I stream here. I'll make a note of that. Where did it? DigiKey. Good to know, thank you. Picking stuff apart are a great way to learn how they work. Yeah, Picked apart an old car stereo once and went, oh, that's how it works. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I was joking about this with my wife. I was never into cars. Cars were never really my thing. I had friends who were really into cars. I had actually quite a few friends who were really into cars. And they would love to, like, take cars apart and figure and, like, talk about this type of car and that type of engine. And I was never into that. But I feel like I do the exact same thing with computers. Like back in the day when I was a teenager, and in the early part of my 20s, I was very much like that with computers. And so I joked to my wife, I was like, you know, computers are my car. At least they used to be, and now I'm refinding that again. I would be perfectly fine to have a phone without a camera for how often I use my camera. Yeah, I mean, I like having a smartphone. There's a lot of uses I have for my smartphone, but I have to say the camera is the thing I probably use the least. I am just not a picture person, to the point where
A building has stopped working.
when I go to events with my kids that my wife can't go to, she makes a big push to remind me, take pictures. Please take pictures. And I need that. I need that reminder because I won't. I'll forget to. And she knows that. No, Ham, you need to take the 4K 120 frames per second, 2440p Congo mined camera to justify my investment. Yeah, I know. Actually, do you know what's kind of funny? Is the thing that finally made me realize that was Apple, was the MacBook Neo. Earlier this year, I was buying my wife a birthday present, and her laptop is pretty old. Apple had just come out with the MacBook Neo, and I thought, oh, this might be really good for my wife. This was before the both of us were kind of done with Apple, so we were still very much into Apple stuff. And you know, my wife doesn't do any advanced stuff on a computer, so I was gonna get that. And so, but of course, as I usually do, I was like looking up reviews, reading about it and stuff like that. And I found this one reviewer said something so great about the MacBook Neo, because there was a lot of criticism of the Neo that, oh, it's only 8 gigs of RAM. And this reviewer said, you know, all of these computer companies are trying to make us think everybody needs to be able, like in their computer, they need to have the ability to edit 8K video and game at 120 frames per second. And the vast majority of people just don't need that. Like, the vast majority of people aren't editing video. They aren't playing AAA games. And so it's like, when you buy a computer that's capable of doing that, it's a waste. I was like, yeah, that is such a great point. Like, my wife doesn't do stuff like that on a computer, so buying her like a MacBook Pro is kind of a waste of money because she's not going to use it for that. And I started thinking about that in terms of like a lot of my electronics. And it's what made me realize I don't need like an iPhone anymore. All the stuff that I do on a phone, like, I don't need the super capabilities of an iPhone to do. It made me think of, there was this series of ads that Apple would run for the iPhone, where they were showing people making movies, like actual legit like movies on their iPhone, and that was a commercial. And I get the idea of the commercial. It's like, oh, look, you can make a feature-length movie on your iPhone. Imagine what you could do with it. But what I took away from that now is like, yeah, I don't need to do that. I don't need this iPhone. I don't need to make big budget movies on my iPhone. It's a waste if I buy something with that much capability. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to a laptop, I do game. So like, I can't, a MacBook Neo is not something I would want. But in terms of a phone, I don't game on my phone. I don't, you know, I barely take pictures on it, but I do need a smartphone for certain things. So when I'm reading about the Fairphone and all of their like ethical creation of the phone, but the criticism is, well, the camera's not as good. I'm like, yeah, I'm good with that. I don't care about that anymore. Okay, I'll just buy and phone that wasn't made. Yeah. Yeah, with slave labor and a separate camera. Yeah, I don't have a smartphone. I didn't have a smartphone until I was 25. I don't need the latest gimmicks. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I got a smartphone until I think I was 23. And even then, it was like, I feel like it was like half a smartphone. I didn't get an iPhone. I think an iPhone was my first real smartphone, and I didn't get that until 2009. So however old I was in 2009, I'm at the age where I don't even remember anymore. I'm convinced corporations exist primarily to obfuscate any real accountability. Yeah, global capital exists explicitly to circumvent state regulations. I mean, that's exactly how they use it, right? You'll never forget what you once loved. You just forget to remember it. Ah, Red and Foxy. That is a line right there. I love that. I love that. You never forget what you once loved. You just forget to remember it. Oh, that hits me right there, man. Yeah, thank you for that. That is a great line. I love that. You just forget to remember it. Yeah. It kind of detracts from being at the event when you watch it from behind the phone screen. Yeah, to take pictures every half a moment. So now that I have kids, there's like a lot of things I go to where you do want to like take pictures or like film it, right? And it's amazing to me how many people will like film like this, right? When I'm at like my kid's event and I'm filming something, I'm like this. Like I'm gonna watch I'll film it and I'll watch the event, and I might film it poorly because I'm not looking at the screen, but I'd rather film it poorly and see it than like make sure I get every angle, because truth be told, I'm never gonna look at that video again. I like to know I have it, but like at least watch it and risk not filming it properly. I don't get that. What do we got going on here? Yeah, we got these metals. We're kind of at a point now on the colony where, yeah, we got a lot of metals now. This is kind of a useless asteroid. Ah, yes, okay. So we can abandon the asteroid. I think the next one we get, because this was our freebie asteroid, I think the next asteroid we get is going to be on like a time limit. Yeah, and we're about to discover one. Honestly, I hate that. I hate what Doge be Ford did to this country. Yeah.
Assembly session open.
Wait, do you mean what Doge and Ford did to the country? Yeah, I can make a feature-length movie with my old camcorder. Yeah, but not even with a phone like that. Apple's phone cannot make a cinema quality movie. Yeah, I know, right? Like, actually, that tech reviewer, Marquise Brownlee, he had a good point about that. He was like, when he had something about where that whole ad campaign where Apple was like, you know, this picture taken on an iPhone. And he's like, is it though? Like, yeah, sure, the picture was physically taken on the iPhone. He's like, but when you look behind the scenes, there's all this studio light around them. The phone itself is sitting on like a stabilizer. Like at that point, can you really say it was actually taken with the iPhone? When you have to have all this other equipment around it? All right, we're going to take this one. Buildings destroyed by disasters and unforeseen events are refunded. A supply pod with prefabs is sent to Earth. It's going to cost us money, but that sounds like something that's pretty good to have.
A building has stopped working.
When this gets back to Earth, we're going to send some more people here, because this just doesn't seem to be producing Enough electronics. Oh, hey, are you playing locally or using GeForce Now? One of the issues I've been running into with Linux Mint is when I'm playing Vicky 3 on GeForce Now, sometimes if I switch to a different window, oh, it blacks out the GeForce Now when I switch back, and I have to relaunch it. Wasn't sure if that might be a software or hardware issue. I have some connection issues up troubleshooting right now. I'm also planning on probably switching to Boostroid over GeForce Now. Oh, no, I'm not using GeForce Now. I have streamed while using GeForce Now before, but that's when I'm on my laptop.
A building
But no,
has
right
stopped
now
working.
I'm playing this natively on my computer. Oh, no wonder this happened. There's no more drones here. All right, let's pack up a couple
Anomaly
drones.
found. Sector scan.
And then let's unpack them here. By the way, to explain what actually happened in this was you have to beholden to your shareholders. Yeah, Ford's owner was taking care of his workers, gave them actual work-life balance, celebrations when there were big milestones, etc. It wasn't just his court case, but this was a huge pivot point. Dodge. Oh, Dodge v Ford. I don't know. I was reading Doge on that. Yeah, Dodge v Ford. Both car companies. Yeah. Ruh-roh. Oh, interesting. I have to read up on that. Aiming to take less pictures
A building has stopped
and
working.
filming less also makes you be more selective, yeah, of what you actually take pictures of for the actual important moments. Like when one of my favorite bands had their final concert in Globe Arena in Stockholm,
Warning.
they had Light Up the Globe with the name of the band. Oh, cool. Yeah, right? Like, I find it amazing when people are like, oh, hold on a second here. Oh, damn.
Warning.
Well,
Pipe leak.
let's close this off. Oh, nope, we can't do that. Yeah, they need this here. Really? This isn't producing enough oxygen for everybody in here? Total demand is 21. Oh yeah, oh yeah, because I guess these leaks. Okay. Damn.
Warning. Insufficient resources.
Yeah, pronounced Dodge like Dodge. I don't know why I was thinking of Doge, like the stupid Elon Musk government agency. Dodge, yeah. That makes sense. Too much wine tonight. Too much wine tonight for not a smart brain. Well, that's my thing with the camera. I'd rather a phone with a mid camera and spend a couple $100 to buy a used camera instead of paying $1,000 for a phone with an HD camera. Yeah, same. I'm tired of being of people trying to sell me on an amazing camera that I don't need. Yeah, repair this thing. What are you guys doing? Yeah, by all means. Yeah. If I'm still just gonna do all the same post-processing stuff to it, oh yeah, in some ways, having both in the same device makes both less convenient. That's true. That's true. When you're more aware of the state of the country, the more you become an activist against the BS going on. Yep. Especially when you're more aware of how things got to this point. I think for me, like, I've always been very, like, politically active and aware, but I guess it wasn't until recently that I finally started becoming maybe more aware of, like, the impact of a lot of these tech companies. I mean, I guess I was always kind of aware, but I guess I finally reached a point where I'm just kind of tired of participating in it. And a proper on-par system camera will always be much better than anything they can put in a phone case. Yeah. Well, yeah, and but it's also like, I don't need a professional camera in my phone. Like, I'd like a nice camera. I'd like something that can take good pictures, but I don't need a professional camera because I'm not a professional photographer. And I don't want to be a professional photographer. I just want to be able to take some, you know, good pictures. I don't need phenomenal pictures because I don't have the skill set to take a phenomenal picture, you know? Nor do I, that's not a skill I feel like learning or need, you know? That's one of the things I love about Burns. Embracing immediacy is one of the values. And there are some stipulations about pictures for a few reasons. So it's one of the few places I just put my phone away for a week, yeah, and only check it to make sure my kids can get a hold of me. It really does change your existence of an event. Yeah, I do sometimes get really annoyed at, like, it being reachable all the time, you know? I really do hate that sometimes. Like, sometimes I wish I wasn't reachable. Because you know, you also feel kind of, at least I feel kind of guilty sometimes when I'm not responding to something. But I'm also like, I'm doing something right now. Like, just because I got a message shouldn't mean I have to, like, immediately stop what I'm doing to address it. All right, so our electronics factory here is not producing like it should be. I mean, it's not fully hired. And we need to wait until we get this back to Earth. How are we doing with Martian-born? Yeah, not as much. It slowed down a little bit. We need to get more people over here. Oh, you know, also we haven't saved in quite a while. Storage space is full. Oh, storage space is full. Yeah, let's get another thing going here. And well, I guess since we're not on a time limit, we don't need to be shuttling back and forth like this. We have discovered a previously unknown Earth Trojan asteroid. These asteroids have a solar orbit similar to Earth's and are surprisingly energy efficient to reach. This makes them prime candidates for resource mining. We have sent the details of the discovery back to Earth. As a thank you, they have offered us a reward for our service. Yeah, we get 2 billion in funds. If we get to 3, we can finally get another rocket going. Would you rather me move to the YouTube chat as you don't have to look over two chats simultaneously. No, I'm good. I have a, in OBS here, I have it set up to have a unified chat. So for me, it's all one chat. That's why I kind of read it together. If somebody types something that is more than, that comes through as more than one message, then I try to skip down to read the rest of it. But for me, it's all just one chat. And one discussion I heard was people talking about leaving their phones at a different place than they sleep. Yeah, so not to be distracted. And many went, what if there was an emergency? How often do you have to have an emergency call? No, my wife is like that. She's trying to get to a point where she doesn't have her phone in the bedroom anymore to get rid of the distraction. So yeah, I understand that.
A building has stopped working.
Always reachable and available, yeah, are the ethos of the so-called Facebook generation. Oh my god, my students are like that. Well, I shouldn't say, it is actually kind of rare that students will do the thing I'm about to say. But there's usually at least one or two people every semester that are like this, where they'll send you an email at like midnight. And then by like 6 a.m., you'll have another email that's like, Professor, did you see my email? And I'm seeing this at like 8 a.m. when I wake up. And I'm like, what makes you think I'm looking at my work email at any time between midnight and 6 a.m.? Like, no. I did not see it until now. Tech companies also use to perform lip service to liberal identity politics, yeah, to cover for the ethical issues. Now they don't care. They're in the replace all the workers end game now. It's so true. They really did do that, right? And I'll admit, I totally bought into that for a long time. I talk to my friends and family about that a lot. My kids can always get a hold of me if there's an emergency. But with everyone else, I point out that we grew up in the age before 24-hour access. Yep. So that level of access isn't the default for me. I need to unplug sometimes or I go crazy. So I'm mindful and only respond when I can. Most people are actually okay with that. And I've had friends adopt similar approaches, right? Like, yeah, we grew up at a time where you weren't always reachable. And I didn't realize it was a luxury until we didn't have it anymore. Honestly, my aim for the future, my wish list, 1, everything be repairable and replaceable. Component level, yes. Software being open on the bottom side, the lowest levels being open, and developers making the product, making PRs dedicated to making it better, yes. Allowing for healthcare for everyone. No person needs to feel like they are not cared for. Yes, yes, and yes to that one. The government works for the constituents. Another 5 on that one. I like it. I like every point of that list. Oh yeah, auto mod. Yeah, because of the length. It'll ping you for the length of it. So you have to submit it as multiple messages. But I, even when it gets auto-modded, I see it on my OBS chat here. My thought have always been, how genuine can a company really be about social issues if their end goals are making a profit? What are they selling? Yeah, I've always kind of been like that in terms of like, I would have friends be like, oh, buy from this company, they're ethical in this way. Don't buy from this company, they're not ethical. And for a long time, I was like, I reject the premise of like, like, I guess what would you call it? That idea like you vote with your wallet, you know? Because it just felt so disingenuous that Oh, I'm gonna buy from a company because they support a certain position, right? Because I was like, they're just pandering to us. They want to get our money. That's why they like the position. But we are kind of in a time now where, unfortunately, giving money to certain things really does feed the juggernaut. God, I really don't want to buy more electronics, but we are not producing them. We have a Rampocalypse in the Mars colony here. Our electronics factory is just not producing things quick enough. We have a straight up Rampocalypse. This sucks. Can't we go back to the day of in real life where we had 6,000 character messages and that wasn't abnormal? Everything now is so TikToked. Yeah, I know, right? God, I remember too, like, Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter for the longest time because I was like, I can't type anything into Twitter. Like, how do you get anything out in, like, 30 characters? Or whatever it used to be. Because, like, I was a writer, so I was like, I need half a page just to say hello. TikTok was something I resisted for, or, Twitter was something I resisted for so long. That's why, I'll be honest, I was kind of happy to finally just delete my Twitter when Elon took it over. I mean, I was deleting it because I didn't like his whole thing. But secretly, I was also kind of like, I never liked this thing to begin with. That being said, I am on Blue Sky. Oh, man. Giving solarpunk vibes, yeah. Hell yeah. Companies are usually just opportunistic about social issues. If the local swinging LGBT, for example, they bring the colors, yeah, but if they feel the pendulum is swinging back, then taking those fast again. Yeah. And we especially saw that, with Trump's second term, at least here in the US, I feel like. All these companies that have been touting these, like, certain social issues, the moment he was in office, all that stuff went away. Target,
The building has stopped working.
capitalizing on Pride Month for like a decade. The minute Trump took office, all of those Pride shirts in their inventory suddenly disappeared. Not to say that there aren't companies that genuinely care about social issues, yeah. But it's only fair to be very cynical about it. Yeah, I think like the large conglomerates, I just don't believe they have like any social issues at heart, you know? A company changing their logo to rainbow during Pride doesn't even pass the bar. I know. It's just like... It's sad. God, I hate to say it, but... Alright, you know what? We're gonna wait a little bit. Because we're about to get this rocket back to Earth. We can bring more people, and we'll produce more stuff here. I want to feel like I'm receiving a message from a disgruntled programmer sifting through 100 bugs in their own software, 7,000 characters, and half of it is just an angry rant of why does it not work. Yeah.
Funding received.
Yeah. All right, so what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 7 people to work there. We could use some actual scientists to work here, so another 3, that's 10. And then another 2 medics. Okay. So... let's just filter by age. Damn. What about middle age? Can we get some medics for that? Oh yeah, they're all middle aged, huh? We do that. Gamer, hypochondriac, party animal, sexy hippie gamer. Alright, so we get the 2 medics. We wanted 3 scientists. There we go. All Utes. And then the rest, no specialization. Oh yeah, let's get the Utes. No specialization. Actually, let's do perks. Let's get gamers, because we're gonna have a gaming thing in there. Yeah, no vegans, because we have a ranch in there. There we go.
A building has stopped working.
Oh, damn. We don't have enough housing for people. I should check that. Okay. I just use Twitter to watch the content creators I follow. It's where the extra interaction with them and their art is. Yeah, and not enough people go to alternatives. So we're all stuck, yeah, their cage. I know, that's a problem. I mean, it was such a major form of communication. That's why it was so sad that he was able to buy it and turn it into what it is. And the site, yeah, the site breaks often. Last week I could not reply to anyone because it kept giving me error messages. So we don't even get the bare minimum service, yet we say dystopian. I know. That's the problem. I never got into Twitter for that exact reason. I was raised in the forum internet days, yeah, where debates and discussions were long and thorough. No way I could fit arguments in 140 characters. Yeah. I had a Twitter, like, before Elon took it over. I had an account. My problem was, I did Facebook, and I just didn't have enough mental bandwidth in my life to have more than one social media. So I had an account, but I never really used it all that much because my efforts were on Facebook. And now I don't use either of them. YouTube chat, you should totally join the Discord if you haven't already. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that, for the reminder. Yeah, if you haven't joined the Hamcord, join the Hamcord. Although I will say, yeah, all of the YouTube chat is on the Hamcord. A nice night of regulars tonight. What people do now to avoid the character limit is to type all you want to say in another page, screenshot it, and post it as an image. I hope this show creativity doesn't get patched. Oh, that's amazing. I love it. I love the little forms of rebellion with Twitter/X. It's the difference between words and actions. Yeah, performative displays are cheap and shallow. Actually changing the way you operate your country isn't as glamorous. Yeah, but it's much more substantial. Yeah. I know. It's so true, and it's just like... I remember when my friends were like, oh, we're gonna... I like this company because of what they stand for. I'm like... Do they stand for it? I mean, I don't want to be the one who poo-poos the party, but some companies, I just don't believe it. All right, we're gonna buy some electronics, just so, because like we need to fix this thing. I just couldn't be bothered to log back in when I reinstalled my computer yet. Well, damn. Oh, no, well, damn. I appreciate you actually reminding everybody about the Discord. I forget to say it sometimes, so I appreciate that. I don't think the very idea of social media is bad, like some people, but the way it's done today is definitely flawed. Yeah, especially things how most of them encourage you to be a loud, yeah, jerk for view money. I mean,
building has stopped working.
Yeah, like social media itself is fine. It's when they started introducing these algorithms for engagement and ads, you know? It's actually, I do actually really like Blue Sky. Blue Sky has been good so far. One, you own your data, and you can take your data, like you can host your data on their server if you don't have your own place to put it. But if you have your own place to put it, you can always offload your data. They make a big point of that. You own your data on this site. And from what I've been told, there's no algorithms. You're not being force-fed. You're not being sent content because of an algorithm. And I have to say, generally, it's been a much better experience on Blue Sky.
Assembly session.
Now, that being said, not as many people are on it, so there is that aspect of it. Oh, damn. I wouldn't mind having the drone hub efficiency, but we're going to have to lose 100 research per soul for it, and I don't want that. Honestly, there's nothing I really want to change. Yeah, we can do crowded living. It's gonna cost us money, though. Oh yeah, prepare the applicant campaign policy. And the workers collective will like it. Why don't we do that? How many people do you usually have live between YouTube and Twitch? It's very inconsistent. I mean, I always get more people for Victoria 3 when I'm streaming that, and that makes sense because like that's what people know me mostly for. So that's usually the thing where I get the most people. And then from there, it's kind of hit or miss, you know, like last Thursday night for Surviving Mars, I think I had like at one point like 30-40 people on YouTube for it, which was surprising and great because I think generally Surviving Mars you don't get as many people. But I love the game, so I'm gonna play it anyway. So like you have like a night like that sometimes. So it kind of depends on the time of day and the game you're playing. So I've had games where at nights where it's like you're averaging around like 5 people. And then some nights where it's like an average of like 30. I think the highest average number of people I've had on a stream is like 30. I think honestly forums just needed to be made more interactable. It needs to be a mix of both old Twitter and old school forums with categories and stuff you can post under or random board or otherwise. Twitter just made forums more accessible with less characters. Yeah, and you know, from what you're describing, I mean, you're basically describing Reddit, which is so funny. I've really gotten into Reddit over the last like 2 years. And I never thought I would, because Reddit always seemed like a wild place. Like just a place of absolute chaos. And now, I have to say, I really... Oh, damn. We need to get a machine part over there. What the hell? Okay, how did we end up with electronics over here? Reddit, the thing I like about it is you open up Reddit and you're really only getting stuff that you're subscribed to. You're not opening it up. Like it's based on subjects and not users. It's not about what users you know are posting. It's about the subjects that you're into. So it's not like Facebook where you open up Facebook and it's like that one aunt that you know posted some BS and now you're gonna get sidetracked by that. I find Reddit to be more like, oh, you're into this subject, or you're subscribed to this one Reddit subreddit. Here's something somebody posted in there. And so I find that to be much more the engagement much more enjoyable on that. Yeah, let's send electronics to the surface. Like, what the hell is that? And then the other 2 are in here. See, this electronics store... I think we need to close this down for a little bit. Yeah, but unfortunately even Reddit isn't that interactable or easy to follow. Not to mention all the data is used to train AI. Oh, you know, I never thought about that. You're right. AI just scans the hell out of that stuff. Damn. Yeah, I did not think about that. That's cool. I appreciate the level of engagement you cultivate. Oh, thank you. It feels like the streams you see where the chat is constantly flying past. Feels like it would be stressful to be on the other side of it. Yeah. It sometimes is. It sometimes is. I have to say, grand strategy games are a hard one to keep up with chat sometimes because they take so much mental power. So you'll find like sometimes there are streams where I'm so far behind chat because it's an episode where I'm very much like thinking about what's going on here. But yeah, I mean, I've actually had people comment before. They're like, "Oh, I wish you wouldn't respond to all the chat and focus on the game more." And I think it's a legit point of view. And I try to find a happy medium, but at the same time, I do kind of feel like I hate it when I'm on a stream and I type a chat to somebody and they just totally blow it off, you know? So I don't want to do that myself. But at the same time, sometimes it's just difficult to do the game and the chat, right? So I try to find a good middle ground on that. Yeah, I'm about to go back to Reddit. I haven't been on Facebook in months. since I got my new phone, but I have been part of some cool Reddit communities in the past. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still technically on. I mean, I'm still on Facebook. I still have the account. I rarely use it anymore. I rarely use it anymore. I think the problem is, for me, as an artist, like as a writer, I'm still connected to a lot of, like, other artists I've worked with in the past, so it is a good way to keep up with the industry, at least, especially with the people like that are on my level. But I'm just so tired of engaging on it. I admire your dedication to read every chat message as well. Oh, thank you, DeWolfie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sometimes I'm a little self-conscious about it, like, oh, should I have not done that? Did that make lessen the stream? Because I wasn't focusing on the game as much. So that's good to hear. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just want to see genuine consumer-first basis that cultivates and incites intuitive conversation. Yeah, in sections where you can just type some BS. I don't know, I just want to see Discord, Reddit, and old Twitter mixed up and evolved past that. I want there to be both private and public conversations and posts, but dependent on what the user wants. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, is like... I think the thing is, like, you know, honestly, thinking about it, like, the problem with social media is that, like, going back to Jeff Goldblum, that Jeff Goldblum line from Jurassic Park, where he's like, before you knew what you had, you know, you patented it, and you packaged it, and you slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it, And he's talking about how, like, you have this technology, this awesome technology, and before you really sat down and thought about the value of it and the way to use it, you immediately went straight to monetizing it, you know? I mean, honestly, like, the premise and the story of Jurassic Park is like the story of our time. You take this amazing scientific advancement and you monetize it in just the worst possible capitalist way. And then it destroys everything. I would delete my Facebook, but that would require me to log into Facebook.
A building has stopped working.
Yeah, I don't even want to give them the engagement of my account deletion. I respect that. I respect that. Oh no, did you get the auto mod again? Well, once again, I saw it. I saw it. You definitely seem like you found a happy medium. It's always fine to say, I may miss some things. It's moving quick and I gotta focus. Yeah. I was never really into streams like Hassan Piker's. Yeah. Nothing against him as a person. He seems chill. That kind of stream chat environment seems chaotic. Yeah, you know, like, I've never actually watched one of his streams. I know about him. And I know he's a streamer. And that's like what his claim to fame. But I never actually watched one of them. And it does seem like any particular voice would just get lost in the fray of it all. Yeah, yeah. Now, I will say, though, I mean, I have the benefit that I'm still relatively small. I can see how, like, if you're a much bigger streamer and you're just, like the chat is flying by, like, how are you going to be able to read any of that, you know? So I guess it's not the same as me. Like, I mean, I haven't watched any of his streams, so I don't necessarily know how he engages with it, but I know he's, like, incredibly big and incredibly famous. So I can imagine his chat is just flying, right? I think about that, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I would do. I don't know how I would deal with that. Maybe not so relevant now because AI is totally modern tech causing more upheaval, but Jurassic Park warned of creating life and editing nature. Yeah. Closest we have to that is editing embryos, and yeah. That's a long term problem. Like if companies commodify with what phenotype you want your kid to be is over. Yeah, let alone things like if you want your kid to be autistic or not, things like that. And you know, Michael Crichton, you know, the guy who wrote Jurassic Park, wrote another book about that as well. He wrote this book called Next, which is all about that. And he kind of predicted the problem with things like Monsanto and things like that. I would say one of my favorite writers of all time is Michael Crichton. I absolutely love Michael Crichton. Jurassic Park is the book that introduced me to the joy of reading, so you know, how could I not love Michael Crichton? And I say that because it's so funny, because he is just like a staunch conservative and climate change denier. And yet, at the same time, I feel like a lot of where his views are coming from, like the basis of his views, I believe I kind of align with the foundation of some of the stuff, but I feel like he then takes it in such a wrong direction, you know? Like I feel like his basic premise on climate change was like, we talk about how, oh, we're gonna destroy the Earth. And he's like, no, you can't destroy the Earth. Like it's hubris to think you could destroy the Earth. What we will destroy is ourselves. You know, the Earth will adapt. The Earth will be fine. It's just that the Earth won't be habitable for us. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I think that's a good way to look at climate change. Like, we're not destroying the Earth, we're destroying us. But the problem is, he takes that and he says, you know, we're not destroying the Earth, we're just going to make the Earth habitable for ourselves. So why do anything about climate change? And I'm like, well, wait a second, hold on. like you were right there. You're on the right path, and then suddenly you went in that direction. And so I find his views to be fascinating, because I feel like the foundation of a lot of them I agree with, but then he like goes off these weird directions.
A building has stopped working.
Oh, more than 1% greenery. Ah, look at that. Yes, we're over 1%. We are over 1%. And we should be getting another 2% on the atmosphere when this guy reaches his destination. So we're moving along. Let's take a look. All right, we're not quite at any levels where we're going to see anything on the world view here. That's why I've made your stream a regular thing. Ah, I appreciate it. It's more reminiscent of when I was teaching, like when I'd be doing side lectures or study hall. It's mostly just chatting with students. Yeah, your channel is Grand Strategy Game Study Hall. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh man, I wish I could make that the subtitle of my channel. Grand Strategy Game Study Hall. I'd wear that. I'd wear that with pride. It's also like every cyberpunk story warned us about the future we are heading towards. Yeah. Then there are guys like Musk who think they are the rebel fighting the system without realizing they are the system. I know, right? Oh God. Like, I don't know. I remember one time I was driving behind somebody and they had like bumper stickers on the back of their car. They had a thin blue line bumper sticker, and next to it, a bumper sticker like of the symbol of the rebels in Star Wars. I'm
A
like,
rocket has arrived.
my guy, pick a side. It's not both. It's one or the other. I don't know who you think the rebels are in Star Wars, but it ain't that. Grand Strategy Game Study Hall with a side class on philosophy and political discussion. Yeah, Plato and his gang were so bored back then. They do this, and I get why. Yeah. Oh man, I love it. Oh, hold on.
Today was a tough one. We lost one of our founders.
We will all have our own special memories of the hope. Oh, we will all have our own special memories of the mark Hope Sheldon left in our hearts and in our lives. I am certain that Hope Sheldon would have wanted us all to be here today, filled out with grief. Oh, filled not with grief, but with strength, vision, and hope for the future. This is what Hope Sheldon lived for, and doing otherwise would make this cause pointless. We are all here today not only because Hope Sheldon laid down the foundations of our colony. We were all personally touched and inspired by their strong character, personality, and presence. We were all very lucky to have had Hope Sheldon beside us in both good and bad moments, and as much as we'll be missing our comrade, their memory will live on as long as we remain united. The founder, Hope Sheldon, passed away due to old age. Yeah, so we finally lost the founder. And so they always they kind of remind you that when people die of old age, that's fine, but if they die of anything else, you start to make everybody else nervous. That's me with Orson Scott Card. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Orson Scott Card. Yeah, the Ender's Game series is one of my favorites and covers some fascinating philosophical issues. Then in real life, he also has a book where liberals start a second world war with secret mech droids in big cities. I know. Yeah, he was like a super conservative, like Michael Crichton, but yeah, like some of his viewpoints, you're like, okay, I can see where you're coming from with that, and I agree with it. And then just he takes another step into just the wrong direction. Yeah, that's a good one there. The rebels in Star Wars were indirectly referred to as the Viet Cong by Lucas. Oh yeah, there you go. When you do the reading but entirely miss the point of the story. I know, I'll never, the thing for the pinnacle of that for me is always when you hear people my age who grew up with Rage Against the Machine and loved Rage Against the Machine are now middle-aged conservatives. And they're like, wait, when did Rage Against the Machine become political? And you're like, oh my guy, come on now. Were you really never actually listening to those lyrics? Come on. Not sure it's if it's intentional or just a side effect of the game mechanics being about adapting settlers to Mars, but I like the game shows how a society can develop its own culture. Yeah, a planet way. Plus, being the first person to land on Mars is one hell of a feat. Wonder how far we how far we are off of that. Yeah. I think we'll see it in our lifetime, but I think we're going to be very, very old when we see it. But I think we will see a person land on Mars. I don't know if they're going to really do a mission. I think it'll be like the moon landing. They're going to land, they're going to walk around for maybe an hour and then head out. But I think we'll see that in our lifetime. Though I think we'll all be pretty old when we see it. But yeah, it's true. Yeah, but I will say all of this stuff where you're shaping a society is new to this relaunched version, which is why I feel like the relaunched version got a lot of undue criticism, because it really does add a lot to the game. It really does. But unfortunately, I think we've reached our end for the night here. We had a good session tonight, though. This is fun tonight. I love it when we have a good chat going, so I appreciate it, everybody. I really do. You guys make it fun. Isn't the Palantir Company the name? Yeah, the name of Sauron from the Lord of the Rings surveillance system? The CEOs definitely didn't get it. No, like, the guy, Sam Altman, thinks that, like Sauron is misunderstood. Like, that's why he named it Palantir. Like, he didn't, like, like, he did misunderstand it, but he knows full well he's naming it after the villain in the Lord of the Rings. He just reads the Lord of the Rings, and he doesn't think, oh, Sam Altman's opening. Who's the Palantir guy? Whoever the Palantir guy is, he named it that because he thinks he has this whole ideology that Sauron is actually the hero of the story. And I'm just like, no, that's not true. Oh, Alex Karp. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Oh, when I read that, I was like, how on earth is that your reading of this? It was fun again. Thank you, Ham. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Oh, like remembering God Save the Queen by Sex Pistols as a celebration of the Queen. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's a great example there. Yeah, a lot of people misunderstood that one too. That's my dad. Buys all the conservative BS, and then talks about how much he loves Bob. Oh, God. Ooh, yeah. Bob would not approve. Oh, Bob Marley. Bob Marley would not approve, too. I actually thought you were talking about Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan wouldn't approve either, but Bob Marley wouldn't either. Yeah, Sam Altman is very special indeed. Put me down for not a fan. Yeah, Sam Altman did very bad things to his sister. I've heard a little bit about that. That guy is a very special kind of crazy and evil. Fun stream tonight. Super stoked for Corsair Cove. Yes. Thank you. Good segue, reminding me. Yeah, so next time I'm going to be on will be tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, so my time. Same time that this one started tonight. But we're going to be starting a new game, and not just a new game for the channel, but a fairly new game. I'm going to be playing some Corsair Cove. So it's kind of like this in a way, that it's kind of like a base builder, city builder, but with a pirate theme. It's very brand new. And it's a lot of fun. I got it about 2 weeks ago, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And so we're going to do that one tomorrow. So hopefully everybody can join in on that one, because I'm kind of excited about that one to really dive into it. I've been doing the story mode, and so tomorrow night we're going to do the endless mode and see what kind of pirate base we can create. So that should be fun. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight, unfortunately. Take a look here. Yeah, unfortunately this time, like I was saying, nobody's streaming any Surviving Mars. So I think that will be it. But I appreciate everybody watching tonight, everybody chatting. You guys are the best. I really appreciate it. I'm not so far off from when I first started streaming, and I was like, who the hell is going to watch me do this? Nobody's going to tune into this. So I really do appreciate everybody hanging out and chatting and watching. It really is so cool. I really appreciate it, so thank you. But yeah, it's past midnight for me. Kids are gonna be up in like 6 hours, so I gotta go, unfortunately. But hopefully I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Yeah, see you next time as well, Mauricio. Yeah, and you know, I'll be in the Discord. Hit me up when you need help. Oh yeah, or need someone to talk to. You're super chill. Would be willing to help if anything is needed. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. It's very cool. Very cool chatting with you. And I'm glad you're in the Discord. Like I said, so I'm actually going to be off next week. There won't be any streams next week. I'll be visiting family out of town, but I will be in the Discord. So yeah, we can keep the chat going in the Discord. But yeah, thank you everybody. Have a good night, and as always, be awesome, my friends. I'll see you next time.